has like his postcards, his paintings, his friends' paintings, like we all do in real life. And so I brought everything from my house and paintings by my friends, my grandmother's paintings, my children's paintings, my children's monkeys. You know, we brought a whole world into that thing to try to give hope. If somebody has a question about some shit. So we put paintings up on the side of the buildings, opposite. And this is so weird. Like, these German art dealers wanted to see this painting, and they ended up hanging it on top of a graffiti in Berlin. Every time I show this painting, it's on top of some local graffiti. Yes, when do you decide that something's not working? Most of the time, nothing seems to be working.
No, but I mean, like, how do you, like, you know, decide that, well, hey, I'm going to go with this painting and, like, show it, make it public, or do you...
Do you edit yourself?
Yeah.
Well, every time we go, you know, like writers, they can change the poem 10 times and they never changed it. They can always go back to the original, but we know that when you change something, you fucked up the last thing. And sometimes we look back and go, God, I really had a good drawing, and now it's getting worse and worse. So yeah, this process of working is like this risky thing where we go out there and maybe it gets better, maybe it gets worse. Sometimes we're lucky enough to go like, oh shit, look at that, I'm a genius this morning, and we believe it. And we get like a gift. And that's a lovely feeling to get a gift. So occasionally, we all know what that's like. It's such a great feeling. You go, I just did that.
How do you know when to make something really big or to make it really small?
I love making things big. And that's just, I don't know where that comes from exactly. I grew up as a kid in a room with really high ceilings, so I just think everything's supposed to be tall or some shit. Now this guy, that's Thornton Dial. You guys know who Thornton Dial is?
Thornton Dial!
Thornton Dial is a great living American master. He lives down here in Bessemer, Alabama. These are some of his paintings. He's an African-American man, about 80 years old. Great fucking genius in American art. I love this man's work. And you can see how much I love it. Like, okay, see how much. And this guy, Lonnie Holly, he lives in Bessemer, Alabama. He's a fantastic artist. These are all sculptures. Like that's a sculpture, that's a sculpture, that's a sculpture, that's a sculpture. These are all sculptures. We bought that drawing. So all these people are really, really great artists, but they can't be in the Museum of Modern Art because they are folk artists or some bullshit.
They're outsiders.
Which they're outsiders, which is pure racism and class warfare. Yeah. That's a portrait of Joe Bradley. The painter. And it looks like Joe Bradley looks like that.
Yeah, I saw him at the Whitney Biennial.
Yeah, he's great. Joe Bradley. But the new stuff is really wild.
It's got a lot of graffiti.
Yeah.
Is that real?
That's my painting. I made that painting, and I've been cutting out birds, and then I thought, well, you know, you take a umber and you put it across the blue, and that's a branch, and you put a bird on it. And it seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah. So, Matteo, you think that's weird, or that's not an abstract painting?
It's kind of weird. I was surprised.
And that's the only weird painting he's seen tonight?
Do we have any other questions?
Can you talk about that dog in the mountains?
What's to say about that dog? It's a fantastic dog. It's a fantastic dog.
He's having a real moment.
I mean, he's out of body.
Yeah.
Would you include that photograph as in your art, within the context of your art, or do you see it as outside the context of your art?
That's a really good question, because I put this photograph in a slide lecture about a year ago, just thinking that it was a nice way to end the lecture because it's such a beautiful picture, and at the end of the lecture everybody goes like, oh. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's good. It's like, oh, we all see things and we go, this is good. So yeah, it is now part of my art, I guess.
Have you ever tried to make a bad painting?
Yes, and it's interesting because it's pretty hard to do a bad painting just like it's pretty hard to do like a really good painting. Because if you're trying to make a bad painting, you have in mind all the things that would make it good. So either way, if you're trying to make a good painting, you got in your mind how to make a good painting. If you're trying to make a bad painting, you also got in mind how to make a good painting, because you don't want to make a good painting, you want to make a bad painting. So it's hopeless either way. I was telling a story earlier to Nathan, I think. Once I